again, we get the opportunity to do some really unique things with folks that you'd be like, wait a minute, what are you doing? That you're an HVAC company. What are you doing out there? But everybody needs to have a climate controlled atmosphere, especially when you're talking about enriching lives of your own employees. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and kick it off to a panel of our employees, and everybody is absolutely welcome to ask questions. I know we have some folks that are on, actually they're on just audio. We've got folks from Utah, we've got folks from Colorado, we've got a lot of folks from Missouri. But the most important folks right now, besides yourselves, are three of our very own here at Cambridge, which are Thomas Little, Smegan Salter, and Jesse Hummel. And they've all got interesting stories, and I know we don't have all day. We want to be respectful of your time. But what we wanted to do is open up the floor for questions or conversations, really, about who we are, what we do, what you guys might have around manufacturing, and this is the time for that. And really, if you don't feel like asking questions, that's okay too. We don't want to force that, but this is a really great opportunity to talk to three folks that started in one place in our company and have really started to climb in their career paths. So with that being said, we will look at for the next 30 seconds to see some questions that are coming direct to us in the chat, and go from there. So let's see. Okay. This is from, who's this, sir? This is from Darren in St. Peters. Darren asks, Smegan, tell how did you start? What are you doing? And my daughter is interested in a career in manufacturing. What would you tell her?
Yeah, so I started out back in March. I was building remote control station cans, which is basically where the thermostat lives for our heating units. And so I would wire those and test them and pack them up and send them off. And right now I do, I'm in a position that they call water spider. So I do a little bit of everything. I help get the crates ready, or crate the units and get them ready to ship. I help assemble the units. I cut wires. I build various parts that go on our control cans. And so I just kind of do a little bit of everything, which is cool because there's always opportunity to learn. And that's kind of what I would focus on for your daughter. Like, there's always room for growth here. And Cambridge is so willing to help you grow, not only here, but outside of this facility, in your home lives or your personal lives, or if you have other goals for your career, they kind of help foster that. So I would just say like I feel like manufacturing is a good place to start when you don't know where to go, especially here at Cambridge, because they help you kind of figure that out so much.
That's awesome. Thank you, Smegan. That's really cool. We have a question in chat from Carolyn Ty. Hopefully I got the name right. I apologize if I didn't. Not enough. Oh, thank you. Good. I got the thumbs up, so we're okay there. So this could be for Thomas or Jesse. You guys get to choose on who wants to answer this one, but you both have a ton of experience here. How many people does it take to produce a single heating unit? Let's call it S. Let's like one of the S units, let's say.
It's kind of an all hands thing. If you mean people that physically put it together and assemble and all of that, maybe 20 people-ish, 20, 25. But it's everyone, because we have everyone from the guys that ship it. We have everyone in sales that help actually sell the unit. It's kind of a whole company thing. Even the material handlers and people that, bring us all our parts and organize things, supply chain people. It's kind of a whole company thing. But I started off assembling the beginning section of our heating units. And I would say that there's probably around 20 people that have their hands on them. All three of us have some knowledge around that, but I'm not sure if that answers your question.
That's awesome. Hey, Jesse, how many units can we make in a day on the S line just in one shift? Because I know here at Cambridge, we actually have two shifts, but Jesse, you might know on this.
I would say anywhere between 10 to 14, 14 if things are going real smooth, but probably on an average day around 10, maybe 8 if things are a little slower, but right in that range.
That's awesome. And then guys, and any of you can take this, but I might pick on Smegan again since she gave such a great answer earlier. You know, did you have any manufacturing experience before you started your job here or or training to do this?
So personally, I did not. I came from actually the world of education. Was looking for a little bit of a break and ended up here at Cambridge. And everything that I know, Cambridge has taught me. So
that's cool. And one of the things I want to highlight about Smegan, other than the very cool first name that I had never seen before, was that you know, Smegan actually has a true interest in helping adults with developmental disabilities work in careers that they had not really ever had the opportunity to choose. So she has asked me to connect her with facilities that can help maybe folks join our facility, which is coming to fruition through a training program out at Boone Center in St. Peter's. So, you know, Smegan will play a big role there. I don't think she ever thought coming to put together heating units that she would actually realize some of the dreams that she had in working with adults with developmental disabilities. But, you know, at Cambridge, we get to make some of those things happen, which is a really unique opportunity and something that, you know, something that I think we need to talk about more, but we just haven't. So Smegan, awesome work there. And, you know, Jesse and Thomas, same question. Did you have any real manufacturing experience before you started before you started at Cambridge?
No, I only had, I didn't really even understand how each tool worked, to be honest. And I came in, didn't know anything, just saw the job posting. It's really cool though. They helped me out throughout the way. We got this thing called standard work where they make it real easy for you to understand how to do each job. And then once you do get an understanding, allow you put input in as to how to make the job better, actually, even if you don't have experience. So it's really neat to see how that worked. And then coming in with the team that supports you and learning every step along the way and then being part of the team, you know.
Very cool. Thomas, can you give us, is it okay to pick on you a little bit here?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a little bit of minor manufacturing experience from my family. My family had a chain of metal fabrication and kind of do-it-yourself creation things for whoever wanted it. So I had a little bit, and that was in my late teens. But I learned pretty much everything here. Hope that answers.
No, that's awesome. We actually just had a question coming in from Caitlin at Lindbergh School District, and she wants to know how do you gather the courage to pick up a microphone at a morning meeting and actually lead the way? Were all of you? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, were all of you guys outgoing to start, or was this something that took courage for you to build up and learn to be patient and or not patient, but actually be courageously uncomfortable? Maybe would be the term there.
I got this one. No, it wasn't easy because, you know, you come into a new place, you don't know everybody, you don't have a lot of experience public speaking, but they've set up a team for the meeting that kind of does everything for you and helps you along the way. And then whenever you see everyone else doing it, it makes it so much easier because it's not just the president giving the morning meeting or the CEO where it seems like a big task. It's really a group effort where everybody's doing it. So you feel like, oh, this is, you know, what we do. And then once you have that opportunity to lead the meeting, it's really cool to kind of grow in that way and become better each time you do it. And eventually it's just a breeze because you're just doing the thing you've done 100 times, you know?
It's true. It's amazing how much we learn from each other too in those morning meetings, because essentially you can talk about your family, you can talk about what you do on the weekends, you can talk about your career path, whatever you want to talk about. It's all game and actually great. We had another great question, Carolyn. She's asking, can you talk a little more about how everyone participates in your vision development? I believe at least 2 of the 3 of you were part of the Zing training, but maybe all 3 of you, Thomas or Jesse or Smegan, who wants to take that one?
I can talk a little bit to it. It was an open invitation, I believe, company-wide to join the the Zingerman's training. And it was very, very cool and very interesting because anyone that wanted to could join and participate and influence our future goals and help set that up. But we met for, I want to say it was a couple hours, I think. But it was a very cool process where they laid out a very easygoing kind of map that we could kind of build and talk through as a company, from the owner and our high leaders down to people that worked every job. And it was just very cool that everyone had input and it was all taken seriously, and we just kind of built from there. And it was just a fun, process to go through.
Yeah, and if I can be a little more conversational about this, I think that for me, because it was pretty early on in my time with Cambridge when the Zing training happened, putting me, who's just really more business development, my title's manufacturing ambassador, which is kind of funny in its own right, but with folks that would be on the line, or folks that have been here for 25 years. And, I coming in from the outside, I have a different opportunity to say, hey, listen, I think we should start to look at, the next 5 to 10 years in whichever way I had talked about it. But you had all this amazing tribal knowledge of folks that have been here for so long that gave you a little bit more of like the history and the why and how we got here and where we failed and where we've succeeded. And I think that to me, as a manufacturer, that's like unheard of. So the opportunity that brought for all of us to talk to each other and share what we thought Cambridge should be, not just in revenue, not just in product development, but also in people development, because when you talk about the branding of Cambridge, you have to talk about our employee brand and our internal brand, because that's what keeps us ticking. Yes, we make the best product out there in heating and cooling, but at the end of the day, we have authentic relationships with each other, and we build that way. But yeah, Carolyn, that was a great question. Thank you. And Carolyn, who are you with there? I wanted to ask.
I homeschool my son, so
Awesome.
We try to participate in manufacturing day every year. My family's background's a little bit in manufacturing, and he's on a robotics team, so just trying to see what's out there.
How cool is that? They didn't have robotics, I think, when I was growing up. I think they had sweeping the back room and some of the other things. So that's how I learned it. But anyway, great question. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So yeah, no, it's great. And I think that, the strength at Cambridge is really found in good relationships. And really the integrity of good relationships is trust. And we have a lot of that at Cambridge. And, trust comes from positive intent and a collaborative spirit to support each other. And, we do talk about enriching lives. We talk about a lot of those things, but, without integrity, without authenticity, without great leadership from the bottom to the top, and most people will say top to bottom, but really with us, it starts with the employees first. I think that that's what makes us unique. And, Carolyn, if you guys ever want to jump in to a morning meeting, I'm getting a bunch of messages now. If you guys ever want to jump into a morning meeting, we absolutely welcome that. You can do it through our website. Yes, Utah, you guys can come too. And Justin, oh, here we go. So of all three of you, we just get one of you guys to answer one of these questions, if you don't mind. What does your career path look like over the next 1 to 3 years, and then long term after that? I know that's a tough one. You're scratching your beard. Jesse, you want to take it?
Yeah, I
can
go ahead.
take it.
Megan can take it. Whoever wants. That'd be great. Yeah.
So I actually came to Cambridge going back to school, and being here, I've realized opportunities at Cambridge that I can pursue that fulfill that same kind of drive in my heart to work with people who have special needs. I guess I can't answer the question for sure, but I can definitely answer the question and just let you know that, like, through coming to Cambridge, I have learned how many opportunities there are outside of, the traditional kind of path. So I would like to, at some point, just get more involved over the next 3 years, get more involved with the special needs and just helping the adults with developmental disabilities and training them, but then also working with the people who are on our floor who don't struggle with those things, kind of start to understand and learn how to communicate and teach those who do have those everyday struggles. Yeah, I guess over the next 3 years, it would be nice to get involved in that at Cambridge.
That's amazing, and it's on my goal list, even though I'm not your boss, and we don't get to work together that often, Smegan, to make that happen. I think it's an amazing opportunity, and candidly one that motor manufacturers should take a look at when you're talking about employing folks. It's all folks, right? It's not just one group, and Cambridge has been great at that. And in St. Louis and in Missouri in general, we're really lucky to have a lot of manufacturers that have that same spirit. One more question. This one is to, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble seeing my screen. This one's actually to Jesse. Jesse, where did you start in the company, and what are you doing now?
I started out on the M line doing getting it ready right before it ships, and then I moved over to the gas trains on the S line, and I spent a few months doing that. And then I got lucky enough to start an internship with the marketing team over the summer. And then now I'm actually full-time signed on to the marketing team. So I started out on the floor building stuff, didn't really have an idea, and then kind of expressed to my leadership that I would like to make it a career here, and displayed some of the skills I have with writing and video making, and got lucky enough to actually sign on full-time with the team and marketing. And here I am now.
So I have a question about that. We use the term courageously uncomfortable. At least I do. I don't know if you guys do, but Jesse, was it hard to go to your boss and just say, "Hey, you know what? I love what I'm doing back here on the S line or M line or ESC line, but I have greater goals for myself and my family and all that stuff." Was that tough? I mean, was that hard to come up with that courage, or did you want it bad enough? You're just like, "I'm going for it."
Yeah, I mean, I had thought about it for a while and I didn't say anything, but we actually had touch points where you sit down with your leader and discuss how it's going or what can make you happier. So that really made it so much easier to say something, because I didn't have to walk up to his office, knock and say, "Hey, this is what I want." I got to have that moment one-on-one where it was set away for that. So made it much easier, but it still took some courage for sure. It's never easy to say you're not completely happy with what you're doing, but it worked out.
And I've heard you got a cool boss now, so I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if she's on here, but she is. She's one of the coolest. So anyway, I think I want to be respectful of the time. So what we're going to do right now is wrap things up if there aren't any more questions, and invite everybody that from around the United States that's watching today to please get in contact with us if you want to come visit us. Depending on what's going on with the surroundings, we absolutely would love to have you in person.